Thank you.
Here we go. It's First Stop News.
Watch a super fast vessel go.
And do you think this bumpy snailfish is smiling?
And it's Fat Bear Week. Everyone better gather around, but let's get into what's happening around the world first. There might be life on the red planet. NASA announced that a potential biosignature was found on Mars last year. A potential biosignature is something that might have a living source, but needs more evidence to determine if it contains any life. The Perseverance Mars rover collected a sample from an ancient dry riverbed in Jezero crater, which could preserve evidence of ancient microbial life. NASA said it will, quote, advance our understanding of Mars. The US government has said that UAPs are out there, so it wouldn't seem that crazy if there were signs of life on Mars, but you know what's even wilder than that? Get this. Albania made an artificial intelligence an actual leader, and no, this is not a movie, it's real life IRL. The Prime Minister of Albania just appointed an AI-generated minister. Not a minister for artificial intelligence, a cabinet member that is actual AI. Its name, Djela, which means son in Albanian. Her role is meant to eliminate corruption in public spending. It's unclear how Djela will do that, and the opposition believes the program will be a way to hide corruption. Djela made her first public address.
I am not here to replace people, but to assist them. Truly, I do not have citizenship, nor do I have any personal ambition or interests.
I just feel like Djela needs citizenship. That seems like an absolute problem. Let's go on to a global issue. More and more countries have recognized Palestine as a state. Since late July, US allies have joined in, including France, Britain, Canada, and more. The UN is having an annual meeting in New York this week.
Now, as if to encourage continued conflict, some of this body is seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. The rewards would be too great for Hamas terrorists for their atrocities.
Most countries in the United Nations have already recognized Palestinian statehood, but not the United States, and Palestine is not a full member state of the UN, so why is this happening now? Some countries hope these announcements will lead to peace between Palestine and Israel. All of this comes as Jews throughout the world celebrate the new year of Rosh Hashanah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded by saying that a Palestinian state would never happen. And in the TV world, late-night host Jimmy Kimmel was brought back on Tuesday night after being suspended for comments he made about conservative activist Charlie Kirk. But two TV stations that control about a quarter of ABC's local affiliates did not air the show. ABC put his show Jimmy Kimmel Live on pause mid-last week. Kimmel said,
"This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this."
Kimmel's removal has raised questions about free speech, which is in the Constitution. We'll have more about this in an upcoming episode, so make sure you're subscribed and send us any questions that you have.
This contraption right here, it's a Seaglider. A small company called Regent Craft in Rhode Island is testing them for future passenger travel. It's one of the fastest hydrofoiling vessels. Its foiling mode elevates it from the water before it flies, and then they use the wing-in ground effect, which is what birds use, where they soar on the surface of the water. The wings move really fast, close to the ground, and the air gets trapped between the wing and the ground, creating a nice cushion that lifts the Seaglider up in the air. But even though they're flying, the International Maritime Organization classifies these kinds of vehicles as ships because of that wing-in ground effect technology. Regent's full-size prototype has a wingspan of 65 feet with 12 propellers, and it can travel more than 50 miles per hour. It's also all electric, which is super cool. The Soviet Union actually used these vehicles very briefly as warships. It's called an ekranoplan. And it did cross my mind, where would you even need a passenger ferry like this? Well, there are islands and cities in close proximity. Think like on Florida's Atlantic coast or Japan's chain of islands. There's also been interest from the military and defense worlds because of course. But would you take a Seaglider, or are you sticking to the car, traditional boat, plane, train, pack mule? You get the point, but let us know below.
Oh, this fishy. It's the Bumpy snailfish. This new, interesting, maybe cute creature was just discovered off the coast of California. It has this pink color. pectoral fins with long fin rays and a unique bumpy texture. Researchers collaborated with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute to capture this footage thousands of feet underwater. Snailfish usually have large heads and a suction disc on their bellies, so they can stick to rocks on the ocean floor or even hitch a ride from other sea creatures. I just feel like that's a freeloader fish. There are more than 400 species of snailfish. They're known to be the deepest living fish. Doesn't it kind of look like it's smiling? A little smirky?
Happy Fat Bear Week to all who celebrate. It's an annual competition from documentary and webcam company Explore.org, celebrating brown bears living in the Katmai National Park in Alaska, and it raises awareness about the biology of these creatures. The bracket for this year's competition is officially live and ready for voting. Over 1 million votes were cast last year. What do you think? Bear99, he's been living in the area since 2016, but had to wait for a few years to get a prime fishing spot because he wasn't big enough. Or Bear856, who is more than 5 feet tall. There's also a returning champion in the competition this year who has a bye until the second round. Meet Grazer, an adult female who was the 2023 champion, then became the first mother ever to win the title again in 2024. Grazer is also a bit of a stage mom. The Fat Bear Junior competition already ended and the winner was Grazer's cub. The female cub and her mom have been fishing together this past year, which probably helped her win the title. Next year, she'll be old and big enough to survive on her own. Voting for the Fat Bear competition ends next week, so head to explore.org to cast your vote.
So, how do these bears get so fat? And why is the competition always around this time of year? It's actually for survival. Brown bears go into hibernation for months in the winter with no food, and they can lose up to 1/3 of their body weight while they're hibernating. So they bulk up in the late summer and fall to get ready. Large male brown bears can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. That's as heavy as a grand piano. In Katmai National Park, there are actually more brown bears than there are people in the largest population of sockeye salmon, yummy yum, in the planet, which is exactly what these bears like to eat. All of these bears will go into their dens in November or December, and they won't come out of hibernation until next summer. Hibernating in the winter isn't just for fat bears. Lots of other animals go into hibernation when it gets cold, and there isn't as much food to go around. Some mammals, squirrels, groundhogs, and bats, some reptiles like turtles, frogs, and lizards, and even some tiny insects like the bees.
You know, I think I'd be kind of afraid to sleep that long. Like, what if there was like a flood or something and like I got stranded or whatever? I don't think I could sleep.
I love sleep. It's my favorite thing to do, especially because I don't even remember it. And I don't even think you have anything to worry about because we have a fab video today too.
Wait, I can just eat a ton of pizza and go take a nap until spring?
You can eat whatever you want.
Man, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Oh my gosh. I wonder what I'm gonna dream about. Wait, do bears dream? Do I dream? What happens when you have to go to the bathroom?
While Will gets ready to hibernate, and he better be back next week, why don't you all tell us, if you wish you could hibernate, what would you eat? What would you think you would dream about? Because we would love to know.
I think I'm ready.
You bringing another animal into hibernation does not feel ethically right.
I did not think through how big and difficult this is to manage. It's my pleasure. Okay, I think I'm ready.
We'll see you next week. I better see you next week too.
I'm gonna go hibernate.
That's insane.